Jennie has joined Jisoo, Adele, and Taylor Swift as the only female solo artist this decade to have a full-length album sell 1 million units globally in its first week. Rosé is the best-selling female K-pop soloist in the history of China's digital music platforms, holding records for both the best-selling album and best-selling single. She is also the highest-earning female K-pop soloist in China's digital music history, having generated $3.45 million USD on the format alone. Alter Ego by Lisa has now achieved 50 number ones on iTunes Albums Chart, becoming the first female album released in 2025 to do so. Amortage by Jisoo has now surpassed 100 million plays on YouTube Music. It is her second project to reach this milestone. Jennie joins Rosé as the only K-pop act to surpass 47 million plus monthly listeners in Spotify history. Rosé and Bruno Mars APT is number 2 on this week's United World Chart with 4 million points. Rosé and Bruno Mars APT has become the highest charting song by a K-pop artist in United World Chart history, surpassing BTS Dynamite. The White Lotus is at number 1 in the top 10 series today. Like Jennie surpasses Earthquake to become the most used K-pop artist song on TikTok this year. Jisoo is now the Korean female artist with the most solo covers on Vogue magazines with 16 solo covers. Like Jennie debuts at number 1 on this week's South Korea YouTube Music Chart with 5 million streams, the biggest debut of 2025 and the only debut by a female artist to debut at number 1 this year. Jennie's Like Jennie debuts in the top 3 on Melon and peak at number 3. APT by Rosé has returned to top 10 on Apple Music Global Chart at number 8, the only song by an Asian act in the chart's top 30 currently. Alter Ego received a total of 91 million streams on the Spotify counter in its first week. Lisa's FUTW has surpassed 30 million plays on YouTube Music. Handlebars by Jennie is the third longest charting song by a K-pop act on Apple Music Global Chart 2025. APT debuts at number 1 on the Hits UK chart. Rosé and Bruno Mars APT remains at number 6 on this week's Hot 100, now tied with PSY's Gangnam Style as the longest-running top 10 hit by a K-pop soloist in history. APT charts at number 2 on this week's Billboard Global 200. It is also chart on number 2 on this week's Billboard Global XL US. APT rises to number 2 on the global Spotify chart with 5 million streams and APT rises to 21 on Spotify US with 8 million streams, the only K-pop act song inside the top 30 on the chart currently. APT has returned to the top 10 of Apple Music Global Chart at number 8, the only song by an Asian act in the chart's top 30 currently. Furthermore, Rosé and Bruno Mars APT stays at number 1 on the global YouTube Top Music Videos chart for a 21st week with over 43.8 million views, and APT spends its 21st week in the top 10 on Melon Weekly chart at number 10. Rosé's Rosie has now sold over 4.5 million units globally according to Chartmasters. It is the 10th album of 2024 to do so, and Rosé has the best-selling album and best-selling single in the history of China digital music. Rosé is the K-pop female soloist with the most digital revenue in the history of China. Rosé's Vampire Holly has been officially registered on ASCAP, and she is credited as a songwriter. Longest running top 10 hits by K-pop soloist in Billboard Hot 100 history. Jennie's debut solo album Ruby sold 1 million copies worldwide in its first week of release. Like Jennie debuts at number 5 on this week's Billboard Global 200, marking her fourth top 10 entry, while also debuting at number 3 on the Billboard Global XL US, making it her fifth top 10 and the most for any female K-pop soloist. Jennie's Like Jennie posts the largest streaming debut for a K-pop act on Billboard Global 200 in 2025 with 69.4 million streams. Jennie's Ruby officially debuts at number 7 on this week's Billboard 200 with 56,000 units sold. Moreover, Jennie reaches a new all-time high of 47 million monthly listeners on Spotify. She is the second K-pop act to surpass 47 million, currently the 57th artist in the world. Jennie's Ruby debuts at 5 on this week's Spain album chart. She is the second K-pop soloist to reach the top 5. Jennie's Like Jennie re-enters on the top 10 on the global Spotify chart at number 9. Biggest K-pop artist debuted on the YouTube Global Songs chart so far in 2025. Biggest streaming debuts for K-pop soloist on Billboard 200 chart. Biggest hits by K-pop artist on United World chart. Highest selling album on the Billboard 200 by a female K-pop soloist in 2025. Alter Ego by Lisa on number 1 with 28K pure sales, and Ruby by Jennie on number 2 with 26.5K pure sales. Songs of K-pop artists with the highest performances on YouTube America Weekly Song List in 2025. Biggest debuts on YouTube Global Music Chart in 2025. Biggest YouTube premieres from South Korea in 2025.